And we're going to roll in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Away with Words, the podcast. It's your girl Bree Stories.
It's A Tati.
And it's MJM Kid.
And we are here with our good friend.
Yes. Quez is back.
The doctor, the Quez.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. How many times have you been with us?
I think this is 2.
This is second?
Yes.
I don't know why I feel like this is 3.
It does feel like it's 3.
Is
Yeah,
it
I
3?
feel like you've been
Sneakily,
here.
it feels like it's 3.
Huh.
Maybe you just be in the building.
Maybe you just, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah,
it
that's true.
feels like
You
you're.
The
probably
place
is
with style
just-
and grace.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Yes.
We're very, very excited to talk to you.
Yeah, I am too.
You are so loved.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
I almost cried when I saw him when I walked in here. For real. But I'm just in an emotional space though, so don't take that too like, you know.
Like don't
think I just
don't make you feel
look at
too special.
Yeah.
Like so
Don't take it in.
take it to heart.
You
Like
know?
I cried everything. Like that's how she said it. Like
I mean,
like
yeah.
I cried when I saw the mailman.
She does.
Anyway, let's break some ice before we get started.
Okay. So in honor of my shirt
Oh yes.
that I'm wearing today, please hold. So it's gonna be 2
Okay.
icebreakers. So first, my please hold the ketchup shirt when it comes to Chicago and hot dogs. Do you think that ketchup belongs on a hot dog?
I will go
Is my
first. So my hot dog order is actually a Chicago dog, no mustard, sub ketchup. So yeah.
So
Wow.
not even mustard.
No.
Okay. Cool.
Yikes. I don't eat hot dogs, so I don't even know how to approach.
Wow. Like
Pardon.
never?
Excuse us.
I used to, I guess, so that's
Did
true.
you used to eat Chicago dogs?
Yeah, that's true.
And how would you like it?
Um,
Yeah, that's true.
yes. I wasn't a big ketchup guy, no.
Wow.
That's good. That's good. You did
Okay.
it the right way, sir.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 so far. What's up?
Means.
Talking about. No, I like everything on my hot dogs. Everything.
Including ketchup.
So you put ketchup on
Yes.
it as well?
I will, yeah, definitely.
Terrible. So, and then my other one is, what is your favorite Chicago food? Like, if you had to move, when you actually were gone from Chicago for a long time,
Yeah.
what did you, like, crave the most? What did you miss the most that's a Chicago staple food or restaurant or something?
It'll have to be Harold's, obviously. But there's a Harold's in LA now. It's just way more expensive.
Is it same?
Does it taste like Harold's?
I didn't
Wouldn't
eat
eat
chicken
it.
at
Oh,
the
yeah,
point,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Right.
Let us know, LA listeners and watchers. Curious.
3 stories.
So I can only think of the craving that I had yesterday that I did fulfill,
Yeah.
which was very specific. I woke up and I was like, I want both a gyro and a pizza puff. So I had both of those things yesterday.
Dang,
Okay.
I miss them things.
Yeah, I miss both of those.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Wow.
just the bomb every time. So I did that. I didn't eat the fries though because I'm watching my figure.
Everything else was
Not
on
right,
the
I ate
table.
a gyro and I ate a pizza puff. But I said, hold the fries.
Hold the fucking
I'm on
fries.
a diet.
I think that's like a sound. I think that
It
makes
made perfect,
so much
no,
sense.
it made perfect sense to me. I was like, I'm
Tati,
just not
come
gonna eat
on.
I
fries.
will go to
Modest.
McDonald's and be like, I want McDonald's and be like, no fries. Like if I
don't
would
But
understand
would you get
how
like
you
2
do
sandwiches?
that.
Would you get like a burger and a fillet of fish?
No.
I would get a double cheeseburger and a fillet of fish and get no fries.
If I was gonna get 2 sandwiches, then I would be like, so yeah, maybe it didn't make that much sense to me. Because I was gonna say if I was gonna get 2 sandwiches, then I'd be like, well, I could just get the fries,
No.
and you got the
No.
2 things.
Oh, I
So
need
it kind of
fries.
was like the equivalent. But no, go off, girl.
Well, even when I'm home, I always crave docs. So when I'm far away, I be needing it.
Yeah,
I be
Docs
needing
is
it.
the fucking best.
I be needing it all the time.
Yeah.
I
Stay
think
far away
if I wasn't here, I would crave pizza. I
yeah.
think.
Which one? Illuminati's, Giordano's?
Neither of those.
Okay.
Sorry, no shade.
Is this Italian Fiesta?
Yes.
You know what the thing
Sometimes.
is? When I'm in Chicago, I want I think of wanting like specific things from specific restaurants, but when I'm other places, I just crave our style, period.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
because food is just different, you know,
Yeah.
when you're in
Thin
New
crust.
York or when you're anywhere, you know, like pizza is just different. So
Yeah.
when I'm craving Chicago food, it's like, I don't even know if I think specifically
Of a
like, oh, I
place.
want Giordano's pizza. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I just wish I was in Chicago and I could just go get a regular ass slice of pizza.
Right.
I think that's how I be thinking. And then of course Harold's. I would crave Harold's too.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the restaurants that everybody doesn't have, like that's not a Chicago thing though, but like a White Castles and stuff like that. Like
Exactly.
that's not a Chicago thing, but
I also just learned not too long ago that not that it's a Chicago thing, but that it is a Midwest thing to have catfish and spaghetti together.
yeah.
I did not know that
People
other
don't do
blacks didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That breaks my heart.
Bow Wow
But they be
do
on
it.
Twitter. They be on Twitter arguing
from
about that. They be
Ohio,
on Twitter like, y'all are disgusting. Spaghetti is not a side dish, and it's like, bitch, it literally is.
Yeah, like, is it not?
It literally is. But
What
anyway,
is it then? Like the main dish?
That's what they say.
I mean, I've eaten
mean,
it
it
like
could
a main.
be.
Yeah, I've eaten it like a main dish as well.
Sure.
But
I
We're
never
both
want
right.
spaghetti as a main dish.
Yes, no, ever. But there
I
are,
do that plenty of times.
I would eat spaghetti alternatives as a main dish, like mastacholi or like a lasagna,
Yeah, exactly.
which is like the same. It's the same thing
Yeah,
essentially. It's
for
just
sure.
different shapes.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't think to have a piece of catfish alongside lasagna for some reason. But even though it's the same,
No, it's like a slice of spaghetti. I don't like it.
that's disgusting. People, never mind. Let me not shade people, but
Yeah.
people do be. Never mind. Sorry.
Keep it going.
Some people
People
do.
what?
No, you ever seen people make like spaghetti bakes? Like,
No.
Yeah.
It's-
Like they make their spaghetti and then put it in a
yeah, they
casserole
but they
dish.
do it like, and they do it like slices. They do it like, I don't like that.
Well, yeah, like you
Kinda
scoop
weird.
it out like a slice.
It don't be given scoop. It be given like.
Because I definitely do. I have had spaghetti where I'm assuming like they make the spaghetti, but then they put it in the dish and then they put like a bunch of cheese
It's
on
one
top.
thing to do that.
And then put it in the oven. So
But
when
to
I
create a
scoop
spaghetti
it,
casserole?
I scoop it kind of like a slice because of the cheese on top.
Yeah, that's
know?
different. Because that's the same way you would do like a mastacholi, but to like have it formed in a way that you have to. cut
What's
it
in
into-
it
Like it's a
I don't
pie.
know.
to make it do that?
don't
Is what
know.
I want to know.
Maybe
I'm guessing
chopped up
lasagna
meat?
things. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, or they
But
cooked it
that's-
too long.
Maybe that's just how they did it and it's the same. But I don't know. That
Yeah.
grossed me out when I saw that on somebody's TikTok. But anyway, let's check in.
Okay, great.
Oh, before we check in, we on TikTok, y'all.
We are on TikTok.
Shout out to
now.
We
Be
are on
Easy.
TikTok.
Shout out to him. Shout out to Brian. He has been working tirelessly
Mm-hmm.
on a lot of
Yes.
really, really cool clips and images for us. And I am just grateful because
Yeah,
you know
me
who
too.
wasn't gonna do that? Your girl. So thank you so much. I appreciate.
I don't
that.
even have a TikTok, but I think I'm gonna get one because of
I
this.
love TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. Is
Oh,
great.
you know I'm
I'm gonna probably get a
pro
TikTok just
TikTok.
because we have a TikTok now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice.
So-
And I always comment on all of our TikToks.
I was so sad about it. I was like, so
We can
you
do,
know.
we can do dances.
I love that we have stuff that I'm not involved in because I'm always kind of like the point of contact or the last check mark person for all things Away with Words, the podcast. So I love being on TikTok and seeing something that I didn't know was there.
Right.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
said
That
I was
makes
gonna
me
get
really
it.
happy.
That's why I was like, I'm gonna get TikTok so I can see the things as they happen. Because like you said, like I don't be knowing.
Yeah.
It just be there.
I'm trying
So,
to get Brian to take over our Instagram. Like,
Yes, please.
let's just
He
do
would
the
that.
things.
He would do
Oh,
that.
the
yeah, he's
things.
doing great. I appreciate him. But yeah, so follow us on TikTok at Away with Words, the podcast. You can follow me there too at Bree.Stories. I'll be on there crying, y'all. I'm about to make that my bio. My bio just gonna say I be on here crying. So you can follow me there. Also, the Bree Stories Patreon, where you get Bree Stories extras and Away with Words, the podcast extras. www.patreon.com/Bree Stories. I do video diaries on a weekly basis. So if you want to get in my business, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
What else do we have? Yaymash.com. That's where all of our written work is. Subscribe. I send emails. And okay, that's it. Let's check in. Who would like to go first?
Yeah, me.
Mickey.
So, yeah, me.
Yeah.
Physically, I am very
Finish
warm
asleep. Oh no.
because I was setting up and I was sweating, and so now I'm sipping on a little something, something, so I'm really hot.
Period.
Emotionally, I am. Emotionally, I'm feeling I'm in a direction of being unavailable.
Emotionally?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like to
I don't know
everyone?
where that's.
Like to all things? Or
No,
like-
not to all things. To just
These hoes.
Boys.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
boys.
My attention is on. What is my attention on these days? It really is just knocking out projects, honestly, because they just don't stop coming in.
Never.
So I gotta continue to do that, and spiritually, aligned.
Word.
Thanks for your time.
And thank you. Tots.
I love
So
Back to you, Tots. I'm
physically,
gonna, please continue. I'm just gonna stand up because my foot is asleep and it is excruciating.
Okay, got it.
Go on.
physically, I am feeling. I don't know how I feel physically. Actually, physically, I feel warm. I do feel warm, and usually I feel cold down here, which is different. I don't think that's it. I mean, yeah, but I don't think that's the reason. Is what I meant. Like, I think it's just warmer down here today,
For some
and
reason, more bodies.
maybe it's warmer. Emotionally, I feel ridiculous, and my attention.
Yeah, I'm not going.
And my attention is on cheerleading. My daughter just started cheerleading, and I'm a teen mom, like assistant coach.
Whoa.
Kind of vibe. So all those new fun responsibilities.
Congratulations.
And then spiritually, I feel. Spiritually, I feel like I'm being told, "I told you so." That's how I feel.
Okay.
In what capacity though?
Like the spirits and powers that be have been watching me through. I've been making decisions or moving through things and being that voice in your head that be telling you you shouldn't do that, or maybe you should, your intuition telling you something, and then I didn't listen to it, and now I'm being in a space and they're like, I told you so. That's how I feel. They're right where we thought you would be. That's how I feel.
Peace.
Thank you.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Physically, my foot is tingling.
Yeah.
I hate that for me. Emotionally, I feel a lot of stuff. I think I feel emotional. If we can just make that a blanket statement. My attention is currently on. I want someone to spit in me. Spiritually,
If you only saw my eyes,
Right, I'm looking at you this entire time.
it's like, wow.
You're just trying to keep a straight face.
it's fine.
He was doing his best.
It's fine. Yeah.
Sips, drink.
Spiritually, I feel, I don't know. I'm at a blank with that for some reason today. So maybe let's say spiritually, I feel like a blank canvas.
Okay,
And
great.
just to go back a bit.
Which also,
And just to double back just real quick.
yeah,
You don't care
No.
where.
whichever hole.
Oh, yeah. There are multiple.
That's what I was
Just
afraid
open
of.
it and spit in it. I'm just
Oh,
noticing.
that's a great shirt.
I was talking to myself this morning, and I was kind of congratulating myself because I was like, oh, my arousal doesn't feel like a yearning. It feels like I'm coming back into my body, and I'm like, I like that. And then a couple hours later, I was like, no, you want someone to do something to you.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Quez.
Yo, first of all, I'm impressed that Mike is providing commentary and the panning of the
Oh.
cameras at the
thanks.
same time.
Multitask.
I was like,
Literally.
yo, this guy,
That's crazy. He's
this guy is
amazing.
amazing.
Tell us how
Thank
you're
you.
feeling physically, Quez.
Physically, I'm relaxed. I did yoga this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's nice.
and actually meditated, which is very difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I told myself to do it, and I did it.
Period.
What's the next one?
Emotionally.
Emotionally, I'm very grounded. I'm in a grounded space emotionally.
And your attention is currently on.
My attention is currently on the school that I've built called the God Body Academy. What needs to be done. We're launching in September.
Can't wait to
it's a
talk
lot
about
on my
this.
plate. Yeah.
Wow.
And spiritually, I got work to do. I got a lot of work to do.
So let's jump right into this God Body Academy. First of all, God Body is one of my favorite. I'm going to send you something.
Okay.
Maybe you can use it.
Okay.
But I have a song called God Body that no one's ever heard but my dad and maybe a couple of my friends. But tell us more.
Okay, the God Body Academy basically awakens the biological wisdoms already present within you. It's basically providing the ultimate recipe for your optimum body. Like we at the God, we understand a very fundamental principle that language isn't just a tool we use to communicate. It's precisely the window in which we perceive life. 'Cause
I love that.
yeah, well, like when you change what you say, you change what you see. So if I call my lady my bitch, the color in which I see her is slightly different than if I call my lady my queen. Or if we had a child together, if I call my lady the mother of my child. Well, guess what? The mother of my child has different responsibilities than my bitch. So we see what we say. So we at the God Body Academy, we provide the language of your body and your biology so you can become your own doctor.
I love that.
You can become the captain of your own ship.
This is good because you said it on its own. The bitch to queen reference, it would have just been Hotep for me. It would have just been like, shut it off, hate it. But there were more words around it that made it make sense, and I like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I knew exactly, because they're the same person.
Yeah.
Essentially. But what you see kind of changes.
It changes how you see them.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think that that's something that's really important because I'm always, and I was just talking to my friend the other day, and I'm like, I want to work on not policing other people's language because I'm always like, don't say that. Like when people are like, man, just anything that but that's the thing. I have to also understand that it is my perception of negative.
Yeah.
And I have this trust that the connection that I have with the divine is my own. Yeah, and so 100%. I can't tell you that yours isn't yours. So maybe you and your divine have an agreement where you can say that life is trash and it don't mean what it means to me. Right. So I'm trying to be better about not telling people like, no, don't say that, or people when you ask someone how they're doing and they're like, man, I'm just trying to get by, and I'm like, no, like like say you live in, say you grateful, but I'm trying to be better about not policing other people's language. But to that effect, how much responsibility do you think we have to our community? So maybe not people that I don't frequent, right? But like my people, like how much responsibility do you think we have as individuals to kind of shape and shift and realign our peers with their language?
Well, we first will have to align ourselves with our own language,
right?
Before we even do that, and we got to be thorough with ourselves before trying to correct somebody else. Yes, so I'm with you on that too. I think we all learning that because language is a very highly variable aspect of life.
Yes,
it's not. It's we interpret. Something can be said, and we all have completely different interpretations of that. So. As far as I don't think it is our responsibility. I think our responsibility is how well can we articulate ourselves and our ideas. Yeah.
How much has your music changed now that you are as in tune with with language? Because you've been doing music for a very, very long time. I would assume that your musical journey didn't start with this ideology, but now that you have it, how has your music shifted?
It's shifted dramatically, tremendously. Music is way better now. It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you've always
putting out fucking quality.
Like,
thank you.
Amazing.
Always. Yeah.
Thank
and we've
you.
known like 3 or 4 different different versions of you.
Yeah. I like that too.
What a journey.
For real.
I like reinventing myself. I like being able to shift into a different version You know, that's kind of like your phone. You know, every so often you get a new one. You know, and you appreciate that new one. So yeah, like I'm always constantly upgrading musically. But as far as to answer that, it has changed. I have a song called God Body too. That you know,
I love that.
Yeah, I'll let y'all listen to after off camera.
For sure. I won't let y'all listen to it, but I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
I'll send it to everybody as individual. I don't want us like huddling around. Like,
Yeah, we have
y'all
to.
listen to it on your own. Go on. But Quez is a professional, so not like me.
I appreciate that. Yeah, my perspective has changed, so the music, you know,
It's changed, yeah.
has changed.
Do you honestly feel like you have changed? Do you feel like you are a different version of yourself every time you come out? Or do you feel like this is all just Quez? Ultimately, do you look back on like the old, what was your name before? It was like Nick Astro. Yeah. Do you look back at those times or those projects and think like, who was that? You know, like what was I talking about, or who was that guy? Or are you like, no, like that's still me, like that's still a version of Quez, or that still comes out in Dr. Quez now?
Yeah, it's both. Like I look at certain things that I did, like, what? Why did I say that?
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
Yeah.
Who was that guy? Yes.
For sure.
But then there's other times I listen to stuff or things that I did, like, hell yeah. Like that makes completely sense. That is who I am. That's certain things are like within your roots.
Right.
You know, but certain leaves can fall off though. You know.
Oh, wow.
That's some
beautiful.
good symbolism. That's a good analogy. I like that. So what is the perspective now in your music and your writing and your creation? Because I know you've been creating nonstop.
Yeah. Man, reflection. I've been making a lot of songs in retrospect, like what has happened. You know, my time in LA was very, very interesting. So I've written about that. I've written about relationships. You know, what I've learned from relationships. Spirituality. My perspective has changed and grown.
I can see that in your tweets too. It's been a pleasure to see you tweeting again. I feel like you weren't tweeting for a while.
A long time, yeah. I just started too.
Yeah, and I literally, like this week, I've just been seeing you pop up every time I get on there, and I'm like, oh, look at Quez, spitting knowledge. I'm like,
How did it feel coming back home to Chicago? How did you feel? I know a lot of artists and creatives, I know when they make a big move, can put like a lot of like pressure on themselves, or feel like they have to achieve a certain amount of success, or even feel like I can't come back. You know, like now that I made this step, you know, if I come back, that's like that's a form of a failure or something, or, you know, or somebody will look at it like you only came back because you couldn't do it there, you know, or something. Like, how did you feel coming back home? Did you just feel like that was, you know, just another part of like the journey? Were you happy to come back home?
It was a mixture. I did feel that way originally. Like coming back meant failure to me. It did. And to share a story, I don't know if you guys are familiar with a buddy of mine, Cam Obi. He's a producer. When I say buddy of mine, we're not as close as we were. So I want to put that out there. But Cam Obi, this was maybe the beginning of 2020. So I got into this car accident. I got hit by a drunk driver, and they totaled my car, and I suffered 2 herniated discs because of it. And I was on my way to Cam's house, so you know Cam allowed me to stay with him during that time. And during that time, out of nowhere, Cam goes, "Quez, go back to Chicago," and at the time, I was not trying to hear that.
yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, yeah, nah. And I fought him on it. And I was living in my car. I was basically living in a movie that y'all seen.
Yes, yes.
And so, but now at least I had the having a car and being homeless is like, it's like you're rich homeless, okay? Because you can get away, yeah. But not having a car is like, damn, I'm really this now.
Yeah.
So Cam was like, go to Chicago. I said, no, absolutely not. Then, you know, I ended up getting a car or whatever. He called me randomly, he said, Quez, God told me to tell you to go back to Chicago.
Wow. That's deep.
That was, and I was offended when he said it, because I'm like, why didn't God just tell me? Like, why did he go
Because you're not
through it?
listening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I fought him on that. And he was like, listen, I'll buy the flight. He's like, I'll pay for the flight, and then when you want to return, because I had a meeting with Macro at the time. He was like, when you want to return for the pitch meeting, he was like, I'll pay for that flight as well. I still wasn't trying to go. I was like, yo, I'll take that money, but can I use it for this?
Right.
And he was like, no, only for the flight.
Yeah.
So we ended up like kind of having a fallout because of that, mainly. I've actually sent him a voice memo not too long ago. I called him and actually told him that I appreciate him telling me that, because that had not to been easy.
Yeah.
For him to come and share that with me. That had to been hard. So I called him and told him that, like, I appreciate it, and his words mean more today than they did then.
Yeah.
I wasn't in a space to receive what he was saying at all. And on top of that, I had a friend who I thought was a friend was in my ear, and he had this weird thing where he would talk like he's you. So he'd be like, Quez don't want to go back to Chicago. Quez, that's a failure to him. Right? This is this person in my ear.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that ain't even my thought though. But then I would I'll be like, yeah, that's right. And then his thought would become my thought. So I was dealing with that.
Yeah.
It was a very dark time, very weird time.
So with Ken being right, what was the benefit? What is the benefit now that you see it more clearly of being back in Chicago?
That's a great question. So when I came back, the best way to answer that is to say, like, when I was 17, that was the first time I ever fasted. I was deep in the church. I was on a youth leadership team with my church. I was in the choir of my church.
You look like you was in the youth.
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
Yeah. I was that guy. I was on speech team in high school.
Period.
You know,
I love that.
I didn't like parties. I didn't drink or smoke.
Yeah, you were still a version of this one when I met you at Columbia. Yes, I remember.
Yeah,
all
that
of
was.
this.
I embraced that.
Yeah,
that. So I was, on a choir. I was very heavy in the church. I went to Bible study more than I went to Sunday service. I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing this fast. It was a dry fast, which is no water, no food.
Oh, wow.
I did that for 2 days. And on the third day, I broke the fast with a sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich from White Castle.
No water, no
From
food.
White
How long were you supposed to do
Castle?
that for?
2 days.
I just did it for 2 days, randomly.
Oh,
because-
okay. So there wasn't a certain amount of time
No,
you
it
were
wasn't a
supposed to.
certain-
Okay.
It was, I had heard fasting is a way to, have a deeper connection with God.
Sacrifice, yeah.
So I did it. And so when I ate the White Castle's sandwich,
I can't believe
That
it's
is
a
so
breakfast
Of all the
sandwich.
things.
That is
A
so
breakfast-
I used to,
funny.
first of all, I used to love those sandwiches because the breakfast sandwiches from White Castle's, it felt like it was like my grandma was back there making them.
I've
Like
heard
they-
that though.
I've heard that
like
too.
They cracking
Yeah.
the eggs back there. It's a
Yeah,
little
I've
different,
heard
though.
that. I was already not eating pork by the time I started getting put on to people talking about their breakfast sandwiches, so I never had
I
one.
still haven't had
I've never had one either.
I'm going to have to
Magnificent.
fuck around with the fuck around.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Don't add that to your list.
So when I ate it, like 30 minutes later, I threw it up.
Well,
And
yes,
obviously.
naturally.
So God had came to me, and this is no exaggeration. He came to me. He was like, he's like, Brandon. That's what my family called me. So he's like, Brandon. He was like, if you just perform one of the most spiritual acts, which is, we know fasting is probably the most difficult spiritual thing you can do, and your body, you just ate that, and your body just responded in that way, and I designed your body. What does that tell you? And I was like, nigga, what? This is a lot.
Yeah.
That I shouldn't be eating this.
Like, I was just hungry.
Yeah. And then, like, that was it. Like, he just left, and I was like, I shouldn't be eating this? Is that what you saying? So a few weeks later, I took out White Castle. I stopped eating White Castles. And a little bit later after that, I stopped eating McDonald's. Then after that, I stopped drinking milk. Then I stopped eating eggs. Then a couple years went by, I stopped eating pork. Then I stopped drinking pop. Then I stopped eating red meat. And then by the time I met Dana, I was like, she just caught me in the middle of this journey. I was like, I'm taking your ass with me. We about to stop eating chicken, and we stopped eating chicken. And it just kept compounding.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why I was doing all of this, to be honest with you. I was just on the journey.
Yeah.
But what I found out was before God tells you what to do, he tells you what to stop doing. So then, and like once I came to Chicago, right, back to camp saying God told me to tell you to go to Chicago. Once I came here and I was able to sit in silence, in solitude, God then came back to me and was like, Dr. Quez, see you changed your name, which is crazy because I didn't change my name to Dr. Quez. It has nothing to do with health at all. My name was Quez at the time, my stage name.
Yeah.
But it was 3 guys with that same name on all of the streaming platforms. So I made a video about this and I put it on Instagram because I wanted to explain to people why I was changing my name. Like, this ain't me just changing my name yet again.
Right.
I don't want one of my songs to go crazy.
Right.
And the money goes to like, oh boy,
yeah,
in
who
Seattle.
knows? That's real.
Yeah, like I didn't want that to happen. So I just, at the time, I was watching a lot of Dr. Laila Africa. So that I think that just was like, fuck it, I'm going to just change my name to Dr. Quez. Had nothing to do with health, though.
Yeah.
But then God was like, Dr. Quez.
Is that though?
Yeah. I need you to build me a school based off of 15 years of experience. And so I was like, whoa.
And this felt like a more ideal place to do that. You felt like you were in the right place.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. Because my mom is here, and my mom is a source of healing because she loves me unconditionally.
Word.
Yeah.
I always hear. I had initially asked you about the move back home because I feel like I may have talked about this on the podcast before, that it's a common thing that I hear among Chicago creatives, that it's kind of this idea that to be successful here, like you have to leave.
Yeah.
You know, that it's constantly being. Once we have someone of some success, one of the first things they'll say is like, get out of there, you know, like leave or move. And while like I'm in agreement with it, like I'm in agreement with it in the sense of just progression and like doing better. And like if you've exhausted everything that you can do here, then automatically the natural next course is to move, you know, and go somewhere else. But it used to bother me that I felt like people were only pushing like this one form of success or something, or like it can't happen, or you can't make it happen somewhere else. And that's why I was just interested to see what you thought, because you had seen both ends of it. You know, you've left, you've come back, and that's why I was just interested to see what you thought of that.
Yeah, I understand it. You should leave regardless. Like, you should go see the world, especially in your 20s. Well, you should take as many risks as possible. Like, you should be a monster at its exploration. You know, so you should leave for that, you know, you should do it for that reason mainly. But as far as like acquiring success, you can acquire success anywhere. You are the success. So it don't really matter where you are. Yeah. But you leaving and going to, like me going to LA, to me, I was in rooms where I was like, okay, this is a little bit different. I've been in Chicago where I've been in rooms with artists, and this is no offense, but I'm saying I've been in artists as far as like their creative process, their work ethic, and I was like, okay, when I went to LA, I've been in rooms where I'm like, this is completely different. They work completely different. So to be exposed to that is amazing.
Yeah, it's very valuable.
So that is going to contribute on your journey to success, yes. But it doesn't matter. There's plenty of successful people in Chicago. It's the 3rd biggest city in the country.
Exactly.
Yeah. I always that always rubbed me the wrong way too. The idea of like go away in order to be successful, and it's definitely something that I've thought about with us, with our podcast, and in all of these years, we're going on 6 years now. it's been.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
That is
much.
amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. And all of these years, there's always been moments where I'm like, and other people in my ear being like, oh, they'll eat this shit up in Atlanta, or do this, do that.
Yeah.
And I've always trusted that I don't feel called to it, and also trusted that we on our own individual accord have to define what success is for us. You know, and for me, I already see us as successful because of our consistency, because of evolution. You know what I'm saying? So like one thing that I appreciate is just like my boy just said, he came down here and was like, damn, this is a totally different space from what
this is amazing.
And it's amazing, and to even be a part of that, you know, to even be here creating as long as we have, that to me is success already. You know. And I don't know if that's something that I just tell myself because I'm like kind of complacent. Like I'm kind of like I'm a comfortable girl, you know. I'm not very interested in shaking my fucking life up and going somewhere else. And I've also, if I'm being real, like I've visited a lot of places within this country and beyond, and I've never been anywhere that I would rather be more than Chicago, like ever.
There you go.
That's
and I go places, you know, I got my best friend and my sister live in Atlanta, so at this point, I've probably been in Atlanta like every fucking year for the past, like, you know, but I've never been in Atlanta and been like, yeah, this is me. Like, it doesn't feel that way. Or LA or New York or like nowhere. So I think that I've always tried to trust that, but it has been difficult living in a place where so many people say that and are telling you that. And then you look at social media and you're like, man, maybe numbers would pop if our backdrop said, you know, I was just like, it's just stupid though. But,
it gives me, you remember not remember, like she not popping no more or something, but the model Winnie Harlow.
Yeah.
I remember when she had made a statement about how like America's Next Top Model didn't help her at all. Like she had made a thing and she was like, America's Next Top Model, like it didn't help my career at all. And she was like, it actually hurt me or whatever. And I remember, and she also said like, it doesn't help. She said it doesn't help any model's career. She was like, America's Next Top Model like doesn't do anything for anybody. And I remember reading it and thinking like, I personally think it's absurd for you to think that of your own journey, but it's even more absurd for you to push that narrative to, you know, all these people that, you know, have never been on America's Next Top Model, don't know anything about it, for you to tell them this doesn't help anybody. Yes. When in fact, that this is actually how we know you or how we came to know you, how you got on the journey of getting into that other door that led you into that other door. And I think that a lot of people have a habit of speaking about their own experience or their perceived own experience and then pushing it on to the world. Right. And being like, because this was true to me, or because I had to make this move, or because when I left America's Next Top Model, nobody was pushing down my door or wanted me to do runways, that must mean that for the majority, it didn't help anybody else either. And I think that's what would bother me when I would see certain interviews or read certain things, and I'll be like, why aren't we just speaking on if somebody asks me, what did you have to do to be successful? I'm going to always say like, well, this is what worked for me. Right. Or this is what happened for me, but not like that shit didn't work at all. Yeah, or this is like, or no, or you never will. You know, this will never work for you, so good luck. You know? But that's why, just like as to Quez's point earlier about our language and stuff too, that's why one of the things that, even though I'm trying to be better about not policing my community's language, I am very serious with myself about the way that I talk, because that type of shit matters. Like, people watching me talk about my journey in any capacity, a lot of people who follow our website or me on TikTok, those two main places, a lot of emphasis is on like mental health and spiritual wellness and stuff like that. And that's like me saying that a bout of depression, like me not seeing the big picture in a bout of depression. Was it painful? Did it suck? Was it terrible? All of those things. But perspective tells me that I needed that to be where I am now. So if you don't have the capacity to see the big picture in every step of your journey, it is kind of like it's a disservice for you to speak on it. And especially when you have so many people looking up to you
and they just want a little guidance. They just want a little outside guidance for themselves of like, okay, how did this person do this? Or how do I get from here to here? And so it's really important that you see the entire story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, girl, I was just thinking, because I was thinking.
Don't skip no chapters.
About
No, you
how
can't.
I was like, so you're
can't.
saying that, sitting in a room with Tyra Banks and
Right.
what was the other dude, Jay,
Yeah.
who was
Didn't help you. That's insane.
yeah, like that didn't help you
That's
at
insane.
all.
Like that means that's a reflection of you.
Yeah,
That means you didn't
like
go in
going
there
through
and
all
learn
these
or do
challenges. The
nothing.
thing that Tyra Banks used to have these girls doing and had to still had to perform at a high level, regard. Like you're saying
The
that did
critiques,
not
all
help
that
you.
stuff.
Like
Yeah.
none of that
We
helped
know
you.
you.
I
We-
could
this
sit in
is-
a room. We could sit in a room or like Jay-Z come in this room and he don't gotta say much, and I can't imagine that I wouldn't take anything from the situation.
Right.
That I'm gonna come out of that room and be like, that shit didn't help me, like like
Yeah.
something
That's a
was learned
reflection
from
of your
that. Even if
perspective.
what I learned from that was, sometimes it's just hype, or maybe even
Yeah.
even if it's a small thing, you learned something that, like you said, took you to the next stage,
Right.
or helped inform your next decision.
And
There's
it
no
depends
way you
on
didn't
what
learn
it
anything.
depends on what you do with what's offered to you. Because in that scenario, if Jay-Z were to walk down these stairs and just look around and go upstairs,
Yeah.
you know what I would say?
He fuck with us.
I would literally be like, I am worthy of being in the same space as somebody like that.
Exactly.
You know
That
what I'm
was his
saying?
way of saying,
and that would do
keep
so
going,
much.
guy.
Right.
For
It's like,
real, but
you
like,
got
and
something
even if
here.
it was, because obviously we in somebody's house, so that would be crazy. But even if it was a restaurant,
Yeah.
I would feel like, man, divine spirit is letting me know if that nigga was 10 feet away, didn't say shit to me, and not that I'm looking at this nigga, you're like he a god or something, but it really is a testament to you being worthy of being in certain spaces. So if you didn't see that in yourself and being in the same room as Tyra Banks, I keep wanting to call this man Jay Versace.
No, is it
call
like
him
Elliot? No, it's not Jay.
I don't know his name.
That's so disrespectful.
Jay.
Interns, can you guys look that
Right,
up?
Yeah.
right, real quick. But no,
Oh,
but
Nigel. I remember him.
Nigel. With the,
Yeah, that
with
was
the
a guy.
silver
Nigel
hair.
Barker? No, Nigel.
He had
didn't
the bald
have-
head, right?
You're right.
He had
Yeah,
the bald
Nigel
head.
was the photographer.
Y'all, I did not.
Jay
I
was
did not
like the
America's
one
Next
that
Top
was like
Model.
helping
Sorry.
with like looks and
Yeah.
None of that
appearance.
is the point.
Yeah.
But yes. But you know what I mean? It's just all about your Jay Emanuel.
Jay Manuel.
Thank you. Thank you, intern.
Silly.
But yeah, it's really just all about your perspective, and I think that that's like the most valuable thing that we have as human beings.
It's our superpower.
Literally, the ability to see something as neutral and to choose what you make of it. Like, I mean anything. And I do this with myself to try to continue to normalize it, but I know that I have to expect when I do it out loud, sometimes people are looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, somebody just spit on your shoes. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a good thing, you know? But that's how I have to think. I have to see it that way.
Are you I don't know if you've seen that tweet where I said, me or anybody else can't name anything bad happening to me in my life.
I didn't.
Yeah, because anything that they thought was bad, I can show you how it was dope.
For real.
Anything.
There's a Chinese proverb about that, about a farmer. It's a whole series of events, right, where a bunch of bad shit, quote unquote, bad shit happens to this farmer, and all of the neighbors are like, "Oh no,
Right.
that happened." But then something happened that was the catalyst for something really, really great happening. So the point is, don't let anybody tell you what was or wasn't good about your experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to come into myself and be like, all right, if I can't see this is good right now, I trust that too. If I'm not in a space right now to be like, okay, because I've let go of toxic positivity, because that is a thing, and that's something that I've definitely released. I'm not going to immediately just like try to shun whatever it is that I'm actually feeling, to be like, no, this is great, we're having a good time. Like, I've stopped doing that.
You are grounded
But
in
I
reality.
trust everything that I feel, and when I do that, when I allow myself to just feel whatever I'm feeling, I find myself very easily shifting, like, well, this ain't that bad. Well, this is fine. You know, I'm cool. I'm good. And like I always say, nobody's going to beat my ass. That is my motto all day long. I'm like, ain't nobody finna come beat my ass. If I don't pay my rent by the 5th, they're not finna come up here and mollywop me. Like, you know, like, fuck it, you know?
Probably
But-
me.
I feel like that's a good way to look at when you talked about learning how to give your peers grace, like when they're saying with their language and being like, oh, this sucks, or my life is this, or I feel like having that same trust and like being like, you know what, I trust that down the road, you're gonna see, you know, you're gonna come on the other side of this. Like in this moment, I don't have to say like, don't say that, you know, because you know the same way you trust in yourself. Like I trust in my friends that they're gonna get it too. Literally,
in the Mastery of Love, he talks about how we don't love people properly because we don't trust them to take care of themselves. When we're doing that, when we're belittling people inadvertently and enabling them because we don't trust that they have it on their own. They don't have the same guidance that we had, and that's not love. You know, that's not acceptance. You know, where you're trying to like fix it for them or get them to think how you think. So that's something that I constantly have to keep front of mind because I'm good for that. I'm good for being like, don't say that.
Right.
Which is annoying. But
yeah, I actually was on the phone with my brother-in-law, and I think he was telling me about a business idea he wanted to do. But he used the word try. He was like, yeah, I'm going to try to do this.
I'd be like,
yeah, and I was like, yeah, like, well, I said something like, well, omit the word try. And he was like, no, like, when I say try, I'm actually going to try and do it.
Right.
And when I got off the phone, he changed my perspective.
Yep.
Completely.
Yeah.
Because that business idea he was talking about was the Hayes Firearms Academy. Shout out to him.
Word.
And he built that, and it's incredible. And so when he literally meant, you know, I'm gonna actually try and do it.
Yeah.
So you do have to realize that like it's not about the words. Like language is highly variable.
Yep.
It changes.
Context matters.
Yeah. When you listen, anything that somebody says, a vibration comes along with that.
Yep.
And if you listen closely, you can always detect if the vibration is true or not. So we have to tap into more so the emotional content of what's being said instead of the logical content.
Exactly. That's definitely something that I had to learn because I definitely used to always, when it was to say try, I'm like, you're either going to do it or you're not. You're either going to do it, and it's just like, girl, shut the fuck. I be getting on my own nerves. Like, I'm a real actually ass bitch. Like, actually. Like, I be having to just shut my ass up. I be too woke for my own good sometimes. But
That's so funny.
That's a part of me. I could be very literal, too. Like
for sure.
Like, you said this.
This is what you said.
This is exactly what you said, you know. But that's, like, very left brain thinking. That's, like, logical, mathematical.
Yeah.
You know, there's right brain, which is compassion, creativity.
And context.
And context is...
Yeah. It means everything.
Like, the universe only understands the content of what you're saying, not the context.
Yeah.
So, it's us that we provide the context.
Yes. And we need it. So, it's important that we let people have that. So, you told me earlier that you don't have a release date currently.
No, like, I don't... I'm making music. I'm in a great space as far as making music.
Yeah.
Like, I'm better at playing
this newer project. I want to hear how that came about.
Aha.
Yeah, aha.
So, well, like some of those songs are really, really old. Like,
yeah.
I want to know who Lawrence is.
Lawrence is me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Because I was like, you came for this nigga neck. Like, what's going on?
I was listening to that earlier, and I was thinking that in my head. I was like, is this a person or is this Quez? Like, I was definitely...
You was thinking outside the box. I was looking for beef.
Only reason made me really think that you could be referring to yourself is because of how hard you were going. It made me feel like that's not in his nature. I guess I feel to be like
it is in my nature
to be coming at another person that way. I don't get that from you at all.
We've never seen that side.
Love to hear that.
It's a lot of
like
sides.
Self-deprecation. Like, you know, we be all for that, but like you know, like, but to other people would be like, you know,
that's probably the most. That's probably what makes me interesting is that people don't understand that I don't trust anybody without a dark side. Like, I want to know that you've been to hell and back for me to trust you. I have a dark side too. I just know how to channel it. At least I try my best to channel it. But like, I have a completely different side, you know, in relationships and business and how I attack what it is I need to do. So like, Lawrence is me basically, but it was weird because the guy who made the beat, he ended up
ask about the production.
He ended up telling me that a story about, you know, I don't even want to tell the story because it's really personal.
Okay.
But the guy involved in that story was named Lawrence, so I thought that was really interesting. I didn't know that.
Already...
No, I didn't know it. He told me after I made the song.
Oh,
and
wow.
Eerie.
I was like,
I like that.
I don't
No.
like that. I don't like that.
No.
Because he was on some weird stuff. So I don't know if he like implanted that. Like, yeah. And I know
like
that
some,
sounds
like some witch stuff, like something witchy.
Yeah, I don't think it was conscious though.
For sure,
think-
it often isn't.
Yeah, I think certain people have the capability of manipulating people, and it might come off as like they're consciously doing it, but no, that's just if you are vulnerable enough, they'll just do it.
Word.
And so no, I didn't like that in retrospect when I thought about it. I was like, no, I don't know, because I don't even know if it's true or not. Actually,
You don't think that could just be a testament to like you and your producer just vibing, like being on the same wavelength and just.
If it was a genuine relationship, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you do any of the production on our house?
I did all of it except for that song.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Fubu was like the first song I made when I got to LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was a long time coming then.
Yeah, I got to LA April 4th, 2018.
Wow.
I made Fubu probably April 9th.
I love that.
Yeah, and I had Dana sit on my lap and I was like, yo, say Fubu. And we made that.
Not me not noticing that was her voice.
That's Dana.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either.
So I didn't
That's
see
crazy.
That's an actress right there. She's talented.
Yeah, I'm the director.
For sure.
Exactly.
For sure. I love that. Fubu is one of my favorites, but I love LimeWire so much. It's such a fun production.
Man, appreciate that.
That's how I feel about Lazy.
Yeah,
I play
Lazy is
that
always
all the
cool.
time.
I love the visual that you put on Instagram for that too.
Yeah, Lazy, I was off of microdose.
Oh, nice.
That. Yeah.
Fun.
Why you say it like that?
Talking about what style?
I miss drugs.
Are you on a sabbatical?
Yeah. I stopped drinking recently.
Okay.
And a couple of weeks into me not drinking, I started finding myself just getting kind of fixated about like, ooh, I wonder, like, I've never done certain types of drugs without being drunk. So I was like, ooh, I gotta find, like, I was like, I've noticed myself, I'm like, are you craving? Like, are you like trying to swap a vice for another vice? So that kind of let me know, like, I probably just need to chill for a while.
I don't think mushrooms can be advice.
I don't think they can either, but I didn't. But I think that anything can be. I think that anything can be advice when you have a certain dependency on it. Like I wasn't looking to use the shrooms just for, just genuine enjoyment and enlightenment and what I would usually use it for. I was looking to like feel something like, oh, if I'm not drunk, let's see what this does, you know. And I was just like, no, you know. So I'm gonna do some drugs on my birthday.
Yeah,
for sure. But I'm gonna wait until then, because I was like, well, maybe you do need to just be completely sober for like some time and just feel, you know, we admit our own like DMT and like,
absolutely,
you know, when we deep breathe and stuff. So I'm like, just do that, you know, like just see what that feels like for a while. So that's where I'm at. Anyway, so you were microdosing. Not me being like, yay.
Yeah. Yeah, I took 2 microdose, and I like walked to the store. It was a perfect sunny day out in LA. Oh my God! Yeah. And I started. Well, actually, this was a different song. I started writing to the. I like made the beat like 4 a.m. that morning. I walked to the store around like 11 a.m. I started writing to this song, and out of nowhere, I just was really happy. Really happy.
It sounds. Is this Lazy or a different song?
This was this song
Lazy
called
sounds
"Follow
really
the Fun."
Oh, that's a good one too, though.
Yeah, so I was writing that, and then like halfway through, I like went to the Metro, and it was like packed, and it was my show, and like I was there for like 3 seconds, and it felt totally real. Wow. And then when the 3 seconds was gone, like a tear came out of my eye.
Oh wow!
And then I went back, I recorded that song in like 1 take. And then after that, I made the beat to Lazy, and I recorded that song. I wrote the song in like 15 minutes and recorded it in like 2 takes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I feel like that's reflected in those songs too. Like they sound so like I don't know. It's like being in a bounce house but laying in it and it's still bouncing you.
Yeah,
That's what lazy
amazing.
feels like.
Wow, go girl.
That's amazing. I was on like cloud 9
Yeah.
when I made both of those records.
I love that.
Yeah.
So the movie that you had,
Nobody cares.
that was this whole time period, right?
Yeah, well, so like
Of making this project.
No, I made Nobody Cares, and at the end of 2018.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so like how Nobody Cares came about was I moved to.
Was it that long ago?
It's been.
Yeah.
I was just
I
thinking
can't believe
like,
it's been
damn,
that
Like
long.
you did that in 2018.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow, that's
Just
been a long
there.
time.
Yeah,
I looked really good that day too. The day of your
you
premiere.
did. Yeah. With
I
that
didn't.
like
I don't
mustache
know what I
dress.
don't know
I still
what I
got
had
the
on.
footage.
I don't know what I had on.
My titties was tittying that day.
Oh, that's good.
It was great. I'd be looking at pictures still.
I was there.
Yeah, you was in there. I was there. You were present.
I don't have the same fond memories of my appearance, but I was in that bitch though.
It be few and far between where I feel that way though, where I'm like, damn, I looked so good that day, like, and
That's a
so
fact.
that really like stands out in my mind. That was
I
a good
appreciate
time.
y'all, by the way, for being there.
That
It
was
incredible.
We were
great.
never gonna miss
Thank
that.
That was great.
Y'all had a good time.
We had
Absolutely.
a great
Love-
time.
Loved it.
I thought it was a great time too, man.
And you know what's crazy? And that's the thing that like, so as an artist, and we're all artists, but like one of the things that blows my mind, because you know how niggas be on Twitter and be like yo, like we pushing 30, like tell your rapper friend to fucking cut it out, like tell him, like be honest and tell your friend he weak, da da da. And I be looking at those tweets like I don't have nobody that I know closely who makes music or does photography or makes movie, nothing. I don't look at none of y'all and be like, oh, it might be time to hang it up, you know, like. But it's like, and I know that, and that's like a constant thought of mine. And even like the band that I sing with sometimes, like I just be blown away by y'all. And I know that, like, as a constant thought, but I'm still always amazed. And when we were there for Nobody Cares, I was like, this is crazy. Like,
it was
I was
amazing.
blown away. I'm like, this is
The movie was amazing.
so much. It was like nothing in me at all was underestimating what it was going to be, but somehow it was so far past what I thought we were going to be looking
It was
at.
way
Absolutely.
far. It was definitely way more than what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting,
Right,
honestly.
it's
So
like-
I can't.
it was
I don't know, but
crazy.
I know that I definitely left thinking like you are so multi-talented,
So talented.
and you push yourself to be great at like all things. Like you don't
Yeah.
allow yourself to, because your focus is in one area, to
Yes.
slack in another
another,
area.
yeah.
You know, like you make sure that
Everything
you're
is
always
quality.
like pushing. Yeah, it's always quality, no
Yeah.
matter what it is.
Yeah.
You just
It was
Something
epic.
I like
I
about
brought
your
it up
music.
only to ask, like, are you gonna do that again? That was really the
Period.
main. Like, did you making that movie? Did that feel like a passion, something that you could see yourself wanting to continue to do, or was that just like a moment? Like you just felt a calling to do it and put it out there, and that was just that moment in time.
No, I definitely am going to continue to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, and push the envelope too.
Yeah.
Like that moment in time was like, oh, okay. Now it's more so a responsibility. Like, it's different. At first, it's like I'm curious. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, you can do this at a high level.
At a high level.
A high
Yeah.
level.
So now, like, you have to do it. So yeah, no, I'm actually writing a screenplay now. It's called "It's God a Gender." It's kind of a book as well. So the subtitle is "Our Emotions Are More Sophisticated Than the Language We Speak." And it's like a TV show,
Okay.
you know.
I love that.
Are you familiar with Amber what is
Rose.
it? Amber Ruffin?
No.
Yeah.
Amber Rose, yes. No, I don't know. who
Amber
Rose-
Ruffin, she was a writer on the Today Show, right?
Yeah, and she has
Yeah.
her own show.
Or not the
now.
Today Show, the Seth Meyers show.
Yes.
And she does have her own show.
And she
yes.
has her own
yes.
show.
I enjoy her a lot.
So the what I'm writing is like Amber. It's kind of like her character.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and so absolutely.
She's cool.
How Nobody Cares came about was when I went to LA, I moved in with a buddy of mine named Flash.
Yes.
Mike, you
Yes.
familiar with Flash?
very familiar.
We're all familiar with
So
that.
we're all very familiar.
Some of us be giving him money.
No, talk about some of us.
Really?
Do you really?
Not
Not
on
lately.
a constant basis and not lately, but
Right.
I definitely was like, let me see.
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah,
Talking about he's fine.
Flash is my guy. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people think he's gay, and
Yeah.
he's like the complete opposite. Like he's not at all. But like, what's funny, what I like most about Flash is that
Talking about call the boys. Let them know.
no, it's so
We got
many
confirmation.
people that would challenge me on that because they just like it's no way.
Yeah, now
Like,
niggas be arguing with you.
I
Like,
was-
Yeah,
definitely gay.
That's so stupid.
He doesn't give gay to me. He gives free.
He does.
Even the things that he does, like I don't look at him and say like, I bet he does stuff with dudes. Like I don't.
Stuff
I
with
don't.
dudes.
I don't.
with
I see how, not to call people narrow minded, but you know, like I can see how if you have that straight lace, this is what men do, this is what gay guys do. Da, da, da.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see how people come to that conclusion, but it doesn't give that if you really.
If you really been watching him for a long time.
Yeah.
He was on Catfish too, wasn't he? Didn't he on
Yeah,
Catfish
yeah,
episode?
Yeah.
He did have a
Yeah.
Catfish.
Well,
Yes.
people are indoctrinated
Yeah.
in what masculinity is.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You know,
And they have this false belief that masculinity is not present in gayness,
right?
where they
Yes,
think like,
exactly.
oh, this isn't masculine, so it has
Yeah,
to be
there's a
gay.
movie. This was Dana's favorite movie. I can't think of it, but it was about it's
Jason
Vin
Swearick?
Vin Ron. No, she loves that
Holiday
too.
Holiday Heart.
Holiday Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
I
Holiday
can't
Heart.
stand Dana.
she loves this movie. I haven't.
Yeah.
I never
We know
watched
every
it,
word.
but
You never watched it?
no, I've only seen like parts of it because she would, play it at her grandmother's house.
I could just imagine her like, you gotta watch it.
Yeah.
So letting it
Just
all
constantly
hang out
like, what you
privately.
doing? Watching Holiday Heart again?
You watched it?
Yeah.
So many times. It
I've
used to be on
seen it.
BET like
Yeah.
constantly. Like before they started playing Baby Boy every Tuesday and Thursday, they was playing Holiday Heart on a rotation.
Yeah. I definitely
Clearly,
seen Holiday Heart.
He is, in my opinion, the definition of masculinity.
Absolutely.
Like,
Ben Grimes?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the character he played.
Uh-huh.
So
Holiday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I don't, but anyways, like Flash is my guy. I've been knowing him for 10 years.
Wait.
And
I don't like that we used to circle back about Holiday. Okay, go on.
It's fine.
It's fun.
But yeah, I have a profound respect for someone who has thick skin. Like he knows that people think that he's gay. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I'm rich though.
Period.
And a lot of people don't understand. I don't know if I should be saying this, but he has money for sure.
No.
Yeah.
Like
I would think so.
I've been to his house and
I've contributed. I know he does.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he been doing it for a long time.
You're like, my $15.99
Look, I'm
goes
like,
far. Okay.
That OnlyFans is quality. It's quality.
yeah, like his house is incredible. And
Yeah.
I don't know if he mind me saying this, but like it's the best house I've ever been to.
I love that.
Like this is like it's
And
almost
to be in
like,
such close proximity with that's
it was inspiring because
amazing,
when
right.
I went to his house. Actually, me and Dana went to
Mm-hmm.
his house, and like he's really into crystals. He's been into crystals for years, and his crystals around his entire house.
I
And
love that.
It has this amazing. It kind of feel like how this feels like right now. Like 'cause this has an amazing essence to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, this nigga really. And then he bought his mama a house right down the street.
I know that's right.
Like who does
know
that?
that's right.
Absolutely.
Like
Period.
so.
I still want him on the
Showing
show.
that ass.
So
Yeah, he's
whenever
got to
that
come
happens.
for sure.
love that.
Yeah.
So I can tell him.
Absolutely.
My
I had
favorite
my mom. My mom went to Vegas, and I had her go to the house.
Nice.
And it almost didn't happen. I was like, nah, Ma, you got to go to this house. And she went. And when she left, she called me and she was like, Brandon, this is the highlight of my entire vacation.
I know that's fucking
That's
right.
what's up.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I
So
know
shout
that's
out
right.
to Flash.
Yeah,
That's my
for
guy.
sure, for sure.
And he inspired me. I was like, oh, if he can do this, like this really is like in arm's reach. So he put a battery in my back, and now
Yeah.
like I can't wait to get my house. Like it's.
For real. For real.
I'm gonna have a library. I'm gonna have a steam room in my house.
Yeah, let's manifest our houses. I'm really, really bad at like, I'm not visual. So me and my mama go back and forth because everything in my house, and I love my apartment, and people come in and they always like compliment it, and that's great. But I always make sure I tell them like, anything that you see is not my doing because I'm just not visual. So I don't care that much about that stuff. But what matters to me is how it feels.
Yeah.
And me and my mom finally have met each other in a happy medium where her aesthetics and the things that she's brought visually are catering to what I need to feel in the space. And I think that is definitely reflective when other people walk in. And so I love that. So I can only imagine how crazy she gonna go when I get like a fucking condo or a house. Like, she gonna go crazy. It's gonna be raw as fuck.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Decorating is fun.
It's not, but you know,
I love it.
I love that y'all love it.
Yeah.
I'm not a decorations girl unless we're talking about like birthday stuff. That's a lie. I don't like doing that neither.
I'm talking about that's a lie.
Anyway, let's begin to wrap this up. Dr. Quez, please, part us with some wisdom. What is it that you want people to? You know how you said that this space and like Flash's house has an essence. What do you want people to walk away from you feeling that your essence is?
Wow, that's a great question.
I thought of it myself.
Well,
Yep, sure did.
Many people don't understand that like I've been a entrepreneur since I was 17, in every sense of the word. Like I was, I had a gospel group. I was a leader of this gospel group.
This is
and like I used to pay for all of our studio sessions. It was like $50 an hour too.
yeah.
I got us on the radio. I got us all of our performances. I used to press up our CDs, go to Rivos Mall, and like sell them.
Shout out to Rivos Mall.
Shout out to Rivos Mall. I used to point out the lady that I felt like, oh, she goes to church. And I would go to her.
What does she look like? What she have on for you to say that?
I don't know. She like her name is like, Auntie Jackie or somebody. And I go to her like, yo.
She wear pantsuits.
Yeah. And I knew that
yeah.
even if she wouldn't listen to it, she would just buy it just because it was positive.
Kindness in her
and it
heart.
was, yeah.
Yep.
And I'll sell like 20 of those and
Damn,
like for
that's
10.
what's up.
Yeah, I make like 200 a day doing that. But I'll put it right back into the music.
Period.
And so that was when I was 17. Obviously, once I got to college, I became the gastro. I've done a lot in that space as well.
A lot, yeah.
I said I would perform at Manifest a year before it happened. I was like, yo, I'm gonna perform at Manifest before I graduate.
Manifest.
Wow.
What a time.
Yeah.
Manifest.
And I said I'll do Biggest Mouth at the Metro. And I did it. And I'm saying all this to say that there's a saying that says, a man who takes pride in the steps it takes to get the results, then the results itself is unstoppable.
Absolutely.
And even though I haven't checked off some boxes that I want to check off, I take pride in the steps it takes to get the result that I want. And so if there was any essence I want to leave is making a journey as fun as possible.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think
amazing.
I definitely think that is your essence. Just as someone who knows you on a personal level and being able to just hear you speak on a personal level, but then also witnessing your art from a distance, I definitely think that is part of the essence that you give off for sure. Because the journey is it's so clear a journey. You know how you see people and you're just like, oh, how did they get from here to here? It's like you have such a clear, well-documented journey, and I think that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Please come back and see us. Please do let us know when the next release is, and any way possible that Away with Words the podcast can serve you in your release of music or art in any form or capacity. We would love to do that.
Yeah.
And
Y'all should host when I have a listening party.
Yeah, no,
No,
exactly.
we are. Yeah.
For sure.
Someone will do it.
Did you think you would have somebody else do it? Because that's crazy to me. Yeah.
But yes, please continue to look out for Dr. Quez. Tell people where they can find you on social medias.
Yeah, Dr. Quez on all social media. Just type in Dr. Quez and anything. Also, I'm launching the God Body Academy.
Yes.
Like if you can sign up, just type in godbodyacademy.com.
Period.
We'll send you an email. We'll send you an assessment, and that assessment is important because we're going to co-collaborate as far as the plan. Okay. And it's only for 100. It's a limited amount of people. It's only for the first 100 people, and we closing it. So yeah, definitely, godbodyacademy.com.
Perfect. So yes, get it while it's hot. As for
Get it
us,
while it's hot.
please continue to do all the things that you have always done. Listen and follow us wherever it is that you find us followable. Why am I saying that? That is not what I usually say. You can follow us at Away with Words the Podcast on TikTok and on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at Bree.stories and on Twitwat at Bree_stories. And you can follow at Tati on Instagram and at Hey Tati on Twitwat. And you know not to play yourself by now, I hope, by not following at MJM Kid and at moments_stu, because that's just where all the cool shit is. And we love y'all so much. And we'll see you next week. Everybody say bye.
Bye.